all. Ira Epstein, and it's my cat's birthday today. 5 months old. She was so little, remember when I got her? And she just keeps getting bigger. She will be a big one. She's a rag doll, so they get quite large. Sweet as can be. But I thought we'd say hello and her happy birthday. So, as I'm looking at the markets and what's going on, we end today a week, a month, and a quarter, all at one time. So you're going to get all kinds of gyrations as traders do window dressing and the like. But there's still a lot of information. We just had another piece of information that came out that's inflationary. I will show that to you in 1 second. Keep in the back of your mind energy pressures coming down a little bit. Now China is talking that they've just increased the quotas they're going to allow for production of gas, diesel, and the like. So their exports are going to go up. They need the reserves. They're going to do that. But it also gives Russia money because that's their main purchaser. In other words, they're the big buyer of Russian oil. Natural gas even slipping back a little bit. Bonds and notes, a little change right here. We get the quarterly report in grains. It's mainly a wheat report. Keep that in the back of your mind. As we look at the dollar up today, now the pound has been everywhere. You've been to 112.43 and back down now near the lows. And what went on there is there was a meeting. The question was, would in essence Ms. Truss and her exchequer bring forth more information, number one, maybe move forth everything that they were talking about instead of waiting for, I think it's November 23rd, when they're going to present things, and they decided not to do that. So at first the idea was, well, they're going to present it, maybe they'll have to abandon it, whatever, and that would be bullish on the pound. Now they're not going to, so everything stays in limbo. And you know the Bank of England can't support this forever. So the markets are looking at it. I question if we won't go back down to those lows personally. That does not mean her program it doesn't have merit. I don't know enough about it. I think people that just say, well, here's what she's doing and it's all wrong, I'm not in that camp. I'm open-minded. I want to see just what she comes up with. When I look at the metal markets, they're getting a little bit of a bid, which is interesting with the dollar up about 35 points today. So that's strange. So let's take a look and see what we have. We have the personal income consumption spending and the PCE price index recap. Here's what you have to look at. The market expected the income level up 0.3. That's up 0.1 more than the July number, and they got that. You've got consumption spending up 0.1. But the prices overwhelmed that, up 0.6, as you can see, month over month, year over year up 0.3. And then you come over here to the PCE price index. This is not the core, so now you've got more items thrown in, up 0.3, whereas the core last time was down. Remember, core will strip out energy and some of the other markets. In a few minutes here at 8:45, we're going to get the Chicago September 22 PMI numbers. We'll see how they come out. They're expected down a little, 51.8 from 52.2. University of Michigan final September consumer sentiment indices, so we'll see just how it comes in. They had guessed 59.5. That's still the estimate. As I said, the quarterly stocks, European Stats Agency reported that the CPI across the Eurozone, 10% higher than a year ago. That bust through the records. Now you're back to 1999 type numbers that are out of control. You can't allow all that to go on indefinitely. So you got to wonder what it means. On rallies, still it looks to me as though the stocks will maintain a posture of wanting to be sold on rallies. That's my own guess as to what I think is going to happen. I am not through. I think that the euro is still going to go down the rest of this year. I think the British pound, if they can't come up with a plan that people like, you can be at parity, possibly as soon as the end of the year. So I'm looking for selling. I'm even looking for more selling in the yen if they don't change their ways. So the dollar stays strong as I see it based on what I know today through the end of the year. But you know, we talk about this in the mornings as I do my morning videos. Now there's two of them that I do. The best package I have is called the combo package, which gives you the futures at 5:30 in the morning. I record those typically. And then at 9 o'clock I start recording the ETF Spider stock. I rotate the different stocks I'm doing all the time. I put out specific buy, sell recommendations in every one of these with the charts right in front of you live so that you're seeing what is going on. Now, they're live to me. They're obviously recorded when you see them, but they come out in fairly fast order. A lot of the orders I'll put in are market, price orders. Everything's got an area of a stop or a specific stop. I talk the fundamentals with you. I bring up at times daily and weekly charts to make the case on each trade that we're looking at. And as I just said, I had the most short signals I've ever put out in my ETF video 2 days ago, and knock on wood, yesterday when the market fell, my clients were doing very well. And I will tell you, I told them to take half profit. Now we see how the month's going to end, and they ride these positions out as long as they can. We'll see what happens. So if you'd like to find out more, number one, we cover all this in the futures, and then in a similar manner, but with stocks included. All the ETFs, and I'm always rotating the different stocks, over 40 charts covered on each. The videos run average about 18 minutes, but there's a scroll bar on the bottom. And you scroll it to go to the different areas that you might want, and you can get to whatever you want to see very quickly. That is the goal of it, but it's a teaching video too. I'll tell you why I'm coming up with the trade, where the trade comes from in terms of the chart action, what to look at it. You don't have to take these trades. I'm not managing your money, but I want to be your sounding board. So if you go to iraepstein.com, under the word market research, it's all explained there. You can follow my finger. Take your cursor up here. You'll see an icon appear. Give it a click. That's how you do that. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great weekend. I will see you this weekend again with our weekend money wrap-ups of all the different markets, and we'll look at the weekly charts for a change. I'm Ira Epstein. Have a great weekend.